Hello and welcome to Pratik Chess Videos.
Here just friends, today we are going to see a game between Bird and Morphy in the year 1858. This was an amazing game by Morphy as he demonstrated how to do a attack on the castled king. So let's start the game. The game started e4, e5, now knight f3, d6, the Philidor, d4, f5. Now this is the Philidor counter gambit, I assume. This is the Philidor counter gambit, I think. Yup, Philidor counter gambit it is. So d4, f5, and now knight c3, and then f into e4. Well, in today it's still the main line after knight f3, f into e4. Now knight into e4, and then d5. Now knight g3. Now knight into e5 is an interesting variation here. And now d into e4, queen h5 check, g6, knight into g6, knight f6, queen e5 check, king f7, bishop c4 check, king g7, king into g6, and meets queen g5 checkmate. So king to g7, bishop to h6 check, king into h6, knight into h8, bishop b4 check, c3, queen into h8, and then c into b4, finally clearing the chaos with a better position. So after knight g3, e4 was played. e4, and then knight e5, knight f6, bishop to g5. Now f3 is, well, white is better here, but bishop g5, bishop d6, knight to h5, short castle. So after short castle, queen to d2, queen to e8, attacking h5, g4, knight into g4, knight into g4, queen into h5, and then knight to e5. Well, knight to e5, idea is c4. No, no, not c4. So now after knight to e5, knight to f. Well, what now? Knight to c6 was played. And after knight to c6, now bishop to e2, queen to h3, and then knight into c6, b into c6, bishop to e3, Rook to b8. Now black is better here. And then long castle. And now pause the video and think what should you play. Now rook into f2, an amazing move, which is just the preparatory move for bishop into f2, and then pause the video and think. Queen to a3, mind blowing move. Queen to a3, just an amazing move. I mean, who would have thought about queen to a3? So c3, and then queen into a2, b4, queen to a1 check, king c2, queen to a4 check, and then king to b2. Mistake. King to c1 was better, and after bishop into b4, c into b4, rook into b4, queen g5. This is an equal position. I mean unclear, but still equal objectively. But now it's 6, and then, well, so see, and instead of bishop into b4, there's one variation before we continue with h6. That's instead of, well, see here, instead of h6, here if queen to a3 check, then king to d2, rook to b2 check, looks like white cannot survive, but still with some magic, after king e1, queen c3 check, king f1, bishop s3 check, king g1, rook into e2, queen h5, and then queen f3. White miraculously survives this position, and this is a draw. Though you may think after queen into f3, white is a rook up, but then bishop to g2 comes and it's difficult. So this can be called an equal position. And instead of all, instead of queen a3, if h6 is played, then queen d8 check, king h7, queen into c8, queen a2, and then on the brink of checkmate, white plays queen to f5 check suddenly, and it's a perpetual. Alright. Alright, so queen to d8 check, and well, queen f5, and it's over. But now b2, and then bishop into b4, and then it's winning for black, but then c into b4. But now rook into b4 check, queen into b4, queen into b4 check, king to c2, e3. Idea is bishop f5 check. So bishop into e3, bishop to f5 check. Rook to d3, queen to c4 check. King to d2, and then queen to a2 check. Well, the idea is that if bishop into d3, then bishop into d3, queen a2 check, comes king comes bishop to c2, and then suddenly this position may not be so winning after all. Let's see. Yep, it's not winning. Minus, I mean, not totally winning. It's 2114. It's significantly better, but better. It's just better if we play bishop. If we play queen to a2 check, king to d1, and then queen to b1 check, with the idea to take on h1, and then we have a queen and the bishop against uh, a rook and two bishops, and also we have one, two, three, four, five, six pawns while white has two. So that's a significant disadvantage. So, well, that's why here it's not such a good thing for white. Alright, so how did white get such a horrible position? So, it all here started with this. Uh, here king to b2 was the founding mistake. If king to c1 would have been played, then the game would have been saved by a complex uh, but saving means. But no, it was not played, and then after everything here, queen b1 check and black won. So this was the game. I hope you like this video. Don't forget to click the subscribe button and the bell icon. Thank you.